You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samarran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot sujunti.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Then how does she know you're here?
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen. Maybe they are afraid. Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage, and not a lot of houses, or a lot of people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us? Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. Ah, I should have known. This is yet another union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here. There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
Ruby was here. You know it. You need to look into these shacks, especially hers.
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room.
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist. This is pretty much a non-place. A gap, a blank spot on the map, just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street. Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox. An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses, shacks as far as the eye can see. The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now. Well, there's Lillian and her kids. a few new folks live in the house to the east, but they're away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them. Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left. Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys. Here, for you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
Under carts, boats, in little boxes. It's not hard to find. She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even. Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting, even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time. Perhaps the mysterious music is somehow connected to the case. A Rusalka or a half-demonic Apsara singing.
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty. I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara. Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed. No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else. What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast. Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr. Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement and look for any signs of Ruby. But just so you know, After we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now. The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. An old mirror hangs. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, as you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for the floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What damn that girl?
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear, we welcome all kinds of people here. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No. She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time, kept to herself. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure.
Aye, do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, Then, at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter. Like you sometimes get, son.
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
No, you can do it. You still have plenty of juice in you before you drop. Behind the cinder block houses, old pre-war ruins rise to the sky like dark palaces. The wind calls.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
The
The noxious odor emanated.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail! Uh-huh. Abigail.
Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little...
Abigail? Abigail, where are you? Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Don't call her.
Hey, Tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you? So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
It's good to hear that you're on top of things. Talking about used to, did you know that I used to be a real mover and shaker? Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom's Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies. Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset. We've met before. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
Tequila. Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
You think you feel bad now. Wait till you've heard the story.
No. You need the wisdom.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth. Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
Does that sound like something you'd do? Yeah, probably. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach, you revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come, to which you replied, "The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things!" After which, your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother. Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit. Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Yeah, you said that you'd really behaved unreasonably and failed to uphold your responsibilities as a representative of the... You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop. And you also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid." It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. You too, Tequila Sunset.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy? So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And in the civilized world...
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is gonna crack the case.
This one doesn't say anything.
Lily's our mum. Hello, mister.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
I hid them. The twins were going to take them. They're stupid.
We're going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh. They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good. Luby. My mum tells me I'm a big girl. But she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or sometimes I can. But then,
Kids.
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom? That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything. Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart. Lammy tells them apart. It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken scooter you almost certainly broke.
I don't know. Sure, just go and get it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
All right. You just need to grab it from the ceiling and go.
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Yes. Very soft. Isn't he soft? Bye!
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it slip in such decrepitude.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to pop.
Huh? So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat. I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
Why? Okay, It's Burger.
A very common name.
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No, you're welcome.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. Sure. Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, you're cold.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Thanks. That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Elysium, that's for sure. Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
They got too much stuff crammed in there, no room. Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter, I can take the cold. Go ahead. It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Elysium. Except that, yeah. You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like. If it ever comes.
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right? Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right? They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? Go ahead. Okay, bye.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions. The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch. An ang-
Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch.
Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch.
Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch.
Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
What is? I know. I'll stick to it. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to. What is it? Oh, really? Wow, social justice really matters that much to you. That's commendable. It really had you shaken up there. Are you sure that's it, though? No, it sounds like you just got chick issues. Okay. Why do you think that? There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you? How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing? Man, When I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory. Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank. You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich. You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad. Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, you. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard.
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out. Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Walshy tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
Under the radar, over the top.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent!
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast. I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads!
Burnouts. Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened.
Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Revachol.
Strike that! The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
The spooky kind. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out, whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies. Well, he's just kinda here. I don't really know how to communicate. Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his centre, you have to hear a lot of...
The man smiles, mysterious. I get it. He's a puzzle.
Oh, you should have the key. We had to padlock the door to the church to keep more vagrants from wandering in.
All right.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it ka-ching. The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
As always, we'll be right here.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good. It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading. Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align. I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can... The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not
easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Yes, further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this...
A pane of Eternite has been barely holding it up.
It looks like a makeshift bridge.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody? Exactly. Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance. Then their paradise became Shit City. And what did they do? No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of own it. Steal hot dogs, shit in the sand. Whatever it takes to keep... heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangle, this cheap-looking padlock, it'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. I haven't seen that sticker before.
Thus, it must be made by youths. There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. The lock turns easy.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. A great whoosh of air rushes in the heart of the... The silence in this part of the church, it's almost powerful. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be and then it's gone. It seems the sound here is detached from it. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not you produce a few muffled thumps after the lieutenant points to...
Can you hear anything? I wonder why the church was built.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is.
Please, detective, not this again.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower over. It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other... Yes, the darkness it's climbing. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer.
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. You see something hanging from the rafters. Look, maybe it's possible to... The shadow is a man. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a...
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user.
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here. I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want...
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
The only thing we need to talk about is how the mother... This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome.
You have no idea what the fuck he... Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see him. Think they scared of me. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually... Might even be nice to have...
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy...
Viejita is... Grandma?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's...
Wait. What if it's...
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
You mean like a fugitive? No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much.
I see. And where is she now?
I told you, Holmes. I don't know. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she...
Or search through her radio computer. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream. You see fluorescent play and print buttons. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments. Another filament memory. The speaker comes to life.
Good afternoon. Votre accident.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through...
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use. Maybe he knows something.
Received. I will register this log. Votre accident. Is there any... Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. In white, silver, and apricot fade. This is her innocence cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. The world is silent, but in the darkness, You sense her. The woman looks down at you, kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile as that useless word passes through your mind. The lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still...
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago, where...
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted.
A pang of guilt. The lieutenant is leaving something out.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. Well, your station was involved, I hear.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
Well, your station was in...
How come the lieutenant...
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
It's a mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For all you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should... The shards glimmer in the dark. You see little pearls of light on the edges of the crack that splits the...
Oh, hey, Wei, there's coffee in the back. Oh, too many times, Ese. You need it for something. Don't sweat it, vato.
That is true.
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña. Sure did, Holmes. I am, at least in part, Holmes, into the mother's love. Aboyadero? No, Holmes. Haven't you ever met a Mex before? You know. I'm not so sure myself. Glad you're feeling more comfortable. First-timers are always nervous.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wood.
This is a special place. I circled it. Nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. No, no, no. There's a new god in town. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like...
They look pretty dapper, actually.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you think.
Marietti is a Mesque style of music. He lost his cool there for a moment. Wait, he says he didn't remember anything about being Mesque. And now he remembers this.
Things come back in flashes. When something... But I was talking about the singing of a burning heart. You may be...
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Something like that.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. I think we're done here, Ese.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our...
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent clay. The speaker comes to...
Good afternoon. Fortress accident on San Brune. Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. Fortress accident. Is there anything else Goodbye. Fortress.
The machine's keyboard is... The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown, arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading...
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for...
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near... See? Even one of the spookers then... What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kid. Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity...
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard that, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, something about the backup data getting destroyed. And how everyone thought it was... I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the...
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely...
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's
the pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just...
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. That disco man must be a cell.
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of a strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her. after she has rebooted the machine.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. A crack. The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex. It's a mystery. The mother of humanism stands above. It's a mystery. The mother of humanism stands above. All you know is the mother of humanism stands. It's a mystery. The mother of humanism stands above. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile. The highest category of historic individual. More. An innocence is elected to office by the founding party. A precedent that has taken place. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitability. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, many things, you know she was a woman of the court. The wife, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long slender, the past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court. A court visited, she was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, it was on her advice that Irene Le Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. She was crowned 2 years after the first. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years, bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber, as did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supremwindi, altogether 21 of the 40 mundial nations, in a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland. The name of the city means even. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother. In midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her therriers placed a white. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once this inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to terrifying, is a term too emotionally charged. Terrifying. It's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role. which was to introduce Dolores Day to court.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? Okay. It's just that you've been looking at that window for this church, the coast in general. We shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. Yes. Or no. Not anymore.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was...
No. Yes. No, you're right. I'm not. What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
What? I hate it. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like this is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up...
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
And? What happened? Oh man, the crab man you mean? Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh, interesting. What's he doing in the church? No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point.
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly...
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light. Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's cloak? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? Come on, man. Who will you trust? Feels the love!
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise. About the dance...
What a pity! That's my favourite...
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out? Unity! And you can't just evict her? Look at you! No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. If that's okay with her, we only... The line's in the dark!
At least Crabman seems like an advanced...
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like a Nordic dance music?
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him...
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you. Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
It's not the anodic dance music that's made her bitter. It's the failure of Fortress accident.
That's right. If we couldn't get our Welkins to happen, I don't want anything to happen. Ever.
There's not a trace of irony in her voice. She means it. Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glossy look.
All right. Bring me the game's offside copy from my old... No, that's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it.
In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer of an...
Okay, but still. Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge. In the giant ice bear fridge.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. Like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That and the heads. I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker. This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or...
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
Thanks. And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. This glorious multi-tool makes a regular pry bar completely... An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it.
It's military. A service depot of some... The washerwoman mentioned a dip...
It may have been used to serve as an aerostatic...
From here to the whirling, I can't see...
An old door, worn by elements,